And new questions over President Biden's personal finances as the White House releases required disclosure forms. They show the president and first lady having a personal debt of between $350,000 and $850,000. This includes a mortgage on their Delaware home with a balance between $250,000 and $500,000. The Bidens reported assets of between $1 million and $2.6 million. Joining us now, senior staff writer for TheHill.com, Alexander Bolton. Good morning, Alexander.
Good morning.
So tell me more about the filing. What did we learn and what stood out to you most?
Well, the filing hasn't changed so much from last year, although the size of the equity loan on Biden's house, the value of that, the range has gone up there. The mortgage is something that Biden took out in 2013, so that's been around for a while. And he has a pretty good interest rate, about 3.375%. Who wouldn't want that, right? If you're looking for a mortgage now. And then on the home equity front, the home equity loan, that was something that he took out in 2022. But I think what is interesting here is that when you look at Biden's personal assets between $1 million and $2 million, and then you compare that to the liabilities he has, up to $850,000. I mean, potentially that is a lot of money to be owing when your net worth isn't that big. It's certainly not as big as other senators or former presidents, for that matter, who really cashed in after leaving office.
I want to ask you about the impeachment probe, because this comes as House Republicans have been investigating millions that have flowed to other Biden family members from foreign countries. We're talking about Hunter Biden here. So how do you see these filings impacting the impeachment probe moving forward?
Well, this is something that is not entirely new. It was known that the president doesn't have that much personal wealth, and that's because he's been in public service since 1972. He was in the Senate for 36 years and then vice president. During his time out of office, he did not make that much money, and so that raises the question of whether he capitalized it all from Hunter Biden's influence peddling operation, and that's what Republicans are arguing. And so, insofar as the financial disclosure shows that Biden doesn't have a whole lot of net worth, he doesn't have a whole lot of wealth, and he does have some pretty big liabilities for an 81-year-old. I think that is something that Republicans could seize on to say, hey, there was incentive for the president to reap some benefit from Hunter Biden's influence peddling operation, which brought in a lot of money, millions, as has been reported. Now, the problem is the impeachment inquiry that is being run by Chairman Comer, who was featured presiding over that squabble in the House last night. He hasn't found any direct evidence that the president did in fact benefit from Hunter Biden's business dealings, and the president has denied being involved in those business dealings. So this is kind of I think a perpetuation of the debate that's been going on for quite a while now.
Alexander, I'm running out of time, but very, very quickly, are you surprised that the president did not collect any royalties from his books?
Well, these books have been around for a while. He did collect a little bit of royalties last year, but those royalties now have trickled down to nothing. They are former New York Times bestsellers, but I guess people aren't interested in reading them anymore ahead of his re-election, 2024 re-election. It shows that there's generally little interest in the president as a candidate, and we're seeing that in his poll numbers.
Thank you for squeezing in that answer, Alexander Bolton from TheHill.com. We appreciate you, sir. Thank you.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.